Howdy. I feel like crap, so I keep it short. We are watching Hawaii. There is stuff going on. You probably have seen pictures and all this kind of stuff. At the moment, the action is more concentrated on Mauna Loa. Shield volcano erupting. There are many earthquakes happening there all the time. Just beside it, we have Kilauea, also erupting. Okay. And I want to point out that all the quakes that you see here, except this one, they're all red. So they're all rather shallow. 0 kilometers in depth. That's very shallow. Let's just take a random 3 kilometers in depth. Napoopoo, 1 kilometer. So they are shallow. The red ones are very shallow. If we go down here, Pāhala. 18 hours ago, 31 kilometers. 3 days ago, 30 kilometers. Let's take one here. 3 days ago, 35. 4 hours ago, 31. 4 hours ago, 34. So, now let's take this also. 31 kilometers in depth. So there is obviously as a distinction between deeper quake activity and very shallow quake activity. And this region here has a name. It is the Hilina Slumb. The Hilina Slumb on the south flank of the Kilauea volcano on the southeast coast of the big island of Hawaii is the most notable in several landslides that ring each of the Hawaiian islands. These landslides are the means by which material deposited at the volcano's vents are transferred downward and seaward, eventually spilling onto the seabed to broaden the island. Kilauea, Mauna Loa, and that's the region we are talking about. Current movement of the Hilina Slumb and recent volcanic activity, coupled with evidence of massive submarine landslides in the geological past, has led to claims that mega tsunamis might result if the south flank of Kilauea should suddenly fail. So, I haven't really time yet to read that. Would the collapse of a flank of a Hawaiian volcano result in towering waves crashing with the force of countless atomic bombs onto the coastlines of North America and Eastern Asia? Coupled with the knowledge that Hawaiian islands are ringed with debris fans where large portions of the various volcanoes have slid into the sea, the volume of the Hilina Slumb has been estimated at 10,000 to 12,000 cubic kilometers. It seems reasonable to consider the risk of volcanic and/or seismic activity in Hawaii wreaking havoc around the Pacific Rim. Paras Karayanis concluded that neither geology nor historic events indicate that Kilauea's southern flank is unusually unstable or that a massive collapse is possible in the foreseeable future. But even if such a collapse happened, as postulated, the far-field effects of the resultant tsunami have been greatly overstated. So, we have to wait and see. Now there is deep quake activity going on and shallow earthquake activity going on here, which might decrease the stability of the whole thing. But I am not an expert. But I think it's rather interesting. Because if there is like these deeper quakes, if there is also some magma rising up slowly, maybe if we were to turn it to the left, like this, the magma comes from deep and then it turns a little bit to the left. That's why we have quakes here. Or there is just lava coming out straight from down below. Maybe I have to check out the LLSVP'S as well, low What was it? LLSVP'S? Low velocity shear zones. No, something. Wait. Large low shear velocity provinces, this is what they were called, are also called LLSVPs, or superplumes, are characteristic structures of parts of the lowermost mantle, the region surrounding the outer core of Earth. These provinces are characterized by slow shear wave velocities and were discovered by seismic tomography of deep Earth. There are the two main provinces, the African LLSVP, where we have, beside other things, the Canary Islands sitting on top of them. Just that you know. And the Pacific LLSVP, both extended laterally for thousands of kilometers and possibly up to 1,000 kilometers vertically from the core mantle boundary. The Pacific LLSVP is 3,000 kilometers across and underlies four hotspots that suggest multiple mantle plumes underneath. These zones represent around 8% of the volume of the mantle, 6% of Earth. Other names for LLSVPs include super swells, thermochemical piles, or hidden reservoirs. Most of these names, however, are more interpretive of their proposed geodynamical or geochemical effects. For example, the name thermochemical pile interprets LLSVPs as lower mantle piles of thermally hot and or chemically distinct material, hence lava probably. LLSVPs are still relatively mysterious, and many questions remain about their nature, origin, and geodynamic effects. If you don't know, this is a gift. You cannot stop it. Do we get any better resolution? Just a little bit better? Yes. But we can zoom in. Now we just have to see. So Hawaii is somewhere. Now let's wait a second. Got to screenshot that. So now, this is America. This seems to be the Gulf of Mexico. We have California and the coast of America, Central America, and so on. And here, it's a bit hard to say where exactly it is. This our Hawaii. Despite we have those lines here. Yeah, so I had to turn on the lines. Let's move from this to Hawaii. Which is somewhere here. Hidden. Kilauea. Yeah, it's very funny. Some years ago, a neighbor came to tell me that the neighbor house, yeah, like, this kind of bigger house, many floors, they were cleaning out the bike storage room, and there's not a whole yard full of bikes, and they are throwing them away. Maybe you want to take a look. And I found one very cool bike, Kona Caldera. The Kona Caldera bike, some 20 years old or something. So we take this line because I think that's marked on this Wikipedia LLSVP. So Alaska approximately here. And then we just follow down to the Tropic of Cancer, where we have Hawaii. So we have to go. This is Alaska going here somewhere. Yeah, it's not that easy to see. But I think if you take this, and we are somewhere in the middle of these, Yeah, there is something. Check it out. At least it seems. I took another picture. So this might be Kamchatka, so it might be over here somewhere. And there is a magma chamber beneath Hawaii. So the possibility for us witnessing a rather big eruption, especially if Kilauea and Mauna Loa erupt at the same time and they join or whatsoever, it would be quite a thing. You know, it might sound crazy, yeah, always on these kind of big things, but you know, we had Tonga, which was the biggest eruption ever recorded, like, you know, by far. We had one Iceland eruption, which was rather big. There are many, like a few ones still growing there, so we might expect to have more of these eruptions on Iceland. We had the La Palma eruption, which was the biggest in 500 years or something. And all that happened within a year. There has been some other volcanoes which haven't been erupting for many hundreds of years and they just all of a sudden erupted. And now we have Mauna Loa, which hasn't been erupting for some 40 years or something. Kilauea just beside it.